So I asked this lady who was carrying a salad, her husband was carrying a leftover pizza, I said, what is the difference between a salad and a salaad? My answer, well, a salaad is when you first eat it. Then you have some leftover and you eat it later on, then it's a salad. Well, I've got a new pair of shoes with birds on them. Velcro. Alright? This is a very theological study here. How do you sew written material? With a yarn. And how do you weigh a millennial? By his Instagrams. You know, I would love to dine in India. I hear they have a new Deli. What spelled backwards gets stolen? A tool. By the way, can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building? Of course. The Empire State Building can't jump. Here's a story. A husband and wife were driving through Louisiana. As they approached Natchitoches, they started arguing about the pronunciation of the town. They argued back and forth, then they stopped for lunch. At the counter, the husband asked the blonde waitress, before we order, could you please settle an argument for us? Would you please pronounce where we are very slowly? She leaned over the counter and said, Burrr-gerrr Kiiing. So how does a man on the moon get his hair cut? He clips it. Musicians have their issues. Drummers are cymbal-minded. Piano players are all keyed up. Get out of the picture here. Violinists keep stringing people along. Trumpet players are blowhards. They like to toot their own horns. Trombonists just slide through life. Conductors are too controlling. Clarinetists sound reedy. Saxophone players are always on the phone. Flutists flaunt it. Bass players are bass. So what starts with E, ends with E, and has only one letter in it? Envelope. Why couldn't the leopard play hide and seek? Because he was always spotted. What runs around a cow pasture but never moves and could be arrested? A fence. Where can you find an ocean without water? On a map. How do you describe Queen Elizabeth when she decides to abdicate her throne? She has decided to come out of the rain. Young people wear ragged clothes to make a fashion statement. Old people call it hard times. Change is inevitable, except from a vending machine. Why do cowboys roll up the sides of their cowboy hats? The answer, so they can get 3 in a pickup. Why do people from Minnesota call a small cola? What do people from Minnesota call a small cola? A mini soda. Save face by keeping the lower half shut. Why does a bicycle stand on one leg? Because it's too tired. How do you fix a broken tomato? With tomato paste. What building in D.C. has the most stories? The White House. Actually, the library, but politically speaking. What has no beginning, no end, and nothing in the middle? A donut. Who is crazy about money? A donut. I should add that one. If 2 is a couple, and 3 is a crowd, what is 4 and 5? 9. And more. Where do zombies go swimming in Cleveland? Lake Erie. Lake Erie. What 3 letters turn a young girl into a grown woman? A-G-E. What does a ghost call his father? Transparent. And how do you make a witch scratch? Take away her W. Do you like raisin bread? I don't know. Never raised any. What does a houseboat grow up to be? A township. I'm an Army brat. Salvation Army. Actually, Navy. Why did the chewing gum cross the street? He was stuck to the chicken's foot. A bear walks into a bar and says to the bartender, I'll have a pint of beer and a packet of peanuts. The bartender asks, why the big pause? So why did the elephant need a tow truck? Because he broke his toe. A grumpy man walked into a restaurant and gruffly asked, you serve crabs? The maitre d' answered, have a seat. Why are the people who live on a hill not trustworthy? Because they're not on the level. How can you tell that a light angle has been to school? It has 90 degrees. Why does a milking stool have 3 legs? The cow has the udder. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. What is the difference between an eggplant and a chicken? They're both purple, except for the chicken. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Why does a farmer say when he's looking for his tractor, where's my tractor? What does a farmer say when he's looking for his tractor? Where's my tractor? What kind of tea can taste bitter to sweet? Reality. My dog used to chase people on a bike a lot. I finally had to take his bike away. Why should you go to the paint store if you're on a diet? Because you can get thinner there. Become a vegetarian is a huge mistake. Next, what does a frontiersman call a vegetarian? A bad hunter. What do you call someone who can't stick with diet? What do you call someone who can't stick with a diet? A deserter. Put an A in there. What did Iraq and Iran fight for? 1 letter. Notice the difference in letters? Why not irreconcile? All right. Did you hear about the circus fire? It was intense. Some criminal hopeful counterfeited some $8 bills. The Wells Fargo teller opened a fake account to get a new account commission and gave him $4 bills in exchange. I called the airline and asked how long it takes to fly to London. She answered, just a minute. I said, wow, that's a fast plane. She continued, hold on, please. I said, anything going that fast, I gotta hold on. Okay. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. What did the watermelon say to the cantaloupe? You're one in a million. How do you organize a space party? You plan it. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No ID. No idea. What if that same deer has no legs? Still have no idea. Not gonna party this year at Mardi Gras time. The last time I did, I stayed in a hotel in New Orleans. I partied so late, slipped into midday and woke up and saw a hole in my forehead in the bathroom mirror. Thought I was shot dead. Wondered if I was, couldn't feel anything. Then I realized I'd slept on my complimentary mint. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag's a big plus. Why shouldn't you write with a dull pencil? Because it's pointless. What sound does a nut make when it sneezes? Cashew. What does a clock do when it's hungry? It goes back 4 seconds. Parallel lines have so much in common, pity they'll never meet. What do you do when there's a sink standing outside your door? You let that sink in. What's large and gray and doesn't matter? An irrelevant. How do crazy people get through a forest? They take the psychopath. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Not only because 7, 8, 9, but because 7 is a registered 6 offender. Who invented the round table? Circumference. What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. What vegetable reminds you of rusty automobiles? carrots. You've heard of the $6 million man? I'm the $6,000 man. Pacemaker and 2 knee braces. That's true. What's spelled backwards gets stolen. A tool. What happened to humor? Humor used to be more valuable than a scent of humor. Now it's deteriorated into a scent which you can hardly detect with your nose. You've heard of the $6 million man? I'm the $6,000 man, 2 knee braces and a pacemaker. Have you heard that before? What could happen if a frog gets into a car accident? Multiple choice. Rivets are broken. The frog is knee-deep in trouble. The car will be towed. The frog croaks, and all of the above. I just had a surreal experience. I ate a bowl of Cheerios. Now people call me a serial killer. Dental work for the elderly is out of this world, an out-of-this-world experience. My wisdom was impacted. I became an indentured servant, owing lots of money. There was no cap on the cost. I've been extracted and implanted with false impressions into a world of subterranean cavities, root canals, bridges to nowhere, and molar bears. Don't use a hemp fence fire escape in rope in California. It's liable to be smoked before you get to use it. Every time I go to my room, I hear voices from my Bible tape. I lost my clerical job. I couldn't find the 10 key. Why should you become a geologist to get through life? So you don't take things for granted. I'm on my last legs, the ones I started with. I've been studying the Ottoman Empire lately, amazing empire dedicated to just one piece of furniture. My cooking is so bad that I use a smoke alarm as a timer. Question, what kind of horses go out after dark? Answer, nightmares. How do you stop a charging rhinoceros? You take away his credit. What did the straight line say to the triangle? You have all the angles. If I watched my step, I'd fall down. A horse walked into a bar. Bartender asked him, why the long face? Where do pencils go on vacation? Pennsylvania. What's the difference between unlawful and illegal? Unlawful is against the law. Illegal is a sick bird. The duck walks into a store and asks for gum. The clerk says, here you go. The duck says, put it on my bill. I personally know an extraterrestrial. Born 11/20/1942, 6 a.m. Me. I'm an extra human being. I started my life living on the planet Earth. Extraterrestrial. All right. Had enough? I have to weigh myself every day in order to cross the street. Every time I push the button to cross it, it asks for my weight. It says, weight? Yesterday I went to Wells Fargo and asked the teller to check my balance. And she tried to push me over. I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed. If you have 10 apples in one hand and 14 apples in the other, what do you have? Really, really big hands. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. I went to the library the other day and asked if they had any books in paranoia. She answers, they are right behind you. When you look at it very closely into a mirror, an 11 mirrors like eyeballs. All mirrors look like eyeballs. Oh, when you look very closely into a mirror, all mirrors look like eyeballs. Some guy says to me, what rhymes with orange? I said, no, it doesn't. I know a lot of jokes about unemployed people, but none of them work. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. The other day I tried to dial 911, but couldn't find the 11 button. When I was in school, my English teacher looked my way and said, name 2 pronouns. I said, who, me? I saw this guy staring at a can of frozen orange juice and asked him why. He said, because it says, concentrate on the can. I took out a can of frozen orange juice and kept staring at it, but nothing happened. What did you do that for? Because it said concentrate. Same joke. The other day I told people in a bar that drinks were on the house, so they all went out on the roof to find them. I'm such a bad cook that I use the fire alarm for dinner. I can't even remember the recipe for ice cubes. I saw a man on the other side of a stream and asked him how he got to the other side. He said, you are on the other side. I ruined my laptop trying to wash my windows. What's a Grecian urn? It depends upon his job.